Types of headaches for VA rating purposes. The VA lists migraines as the rateable VA disability condition of choice, but any type of headache condition can receive a VA rating if you have symptoms that affect your work and your social life. The International Headache Society and the Mayo Clinic have identified more than 150 different types of headaches, and they're divided into the following three categories: primary, secondary, and other. I have this infographic here. Primary goes to the left, secondary goes to the right, and then other is under secondary. Tension headaches are the most common. Migraine and cluster headaches are less common but more debilitating, and this is why the VA focuses on migraine claims because of the severity. When you're filing a VA claim, how you explain it is what everything comes down to. You could write a buddy letter, statement in support of a claim. Let's just use this example. My headaches are so severe that when I get an attack, which happens 3 to 4 times per week, I end up having to lie down in a dark room for hours until they stop. This has affected my work life and social functioning. In fact, I'm now unemployed because I couldn't perform the functions of my job due to the severity and frequency of my headache. Let's go into this just a little bit more because the way you describe this is everything. Remember, a personal statement or a buddy letter, if your wife is explaining how she observes your headaches as a first-hand witness, which is completely legal and solid medical evidence. You don't want to use terms that are legal terms or medical terms. So, my headaches are so severe. You're qualified to say that. How often they happen. You're obviously qualified to say that. I end up having to lay down in a dark room for hours. It's affected my work life. It's affected my social life. As a matter of fact, I'm now unemployed. So these are all things that you could say as a layman veteran. And as the word is, the words are important, you can notice that the word prostrating doesn't actually come up here, and that is by design. Prostrating is a word that a doctor uses, not you. But you can, there's lots of ways to explain prostrating, like causing me to lay down, right? VA rating for migraines criteria. Here's the actual meat and potatoes of it right here. So a 50% VA rating for migraines are as followed. Migraines with very frequent, completely prostrating and prolonged attacks, productive of severe economic inadaptability. So this means it's happening a lot and hard, and you basically can't work as a result. A 30% VA disability rating for migraines. Characteristic prostrating attacks occurring on an average of once a month over the last several months. So when you're talking about VA claims and VA ratings, it's really what are your current symptoms like now, and do you have a current diagnosis? So 50% is not working, completely prostrating, days at a time, missing tons of work. Your sick time got eaten up by this stuff a long time ago. And then you jump down to a 30% rating. This happens once a month over the last several months. Going down, a 10% VA rating for migraines, characteristic prostrating attacks averaging 1 and 2 months over the last several months. And then a 0% VA disability rating for migraines. You have migraines with less frequent attacks. So let's go look for this magic word here, prostrating, right? It's in the 50% criteria, it's in the 30, and it's in the 10. Now, if you didn't know what prostrating meant or means, like I didn't until about a year ago, you might not have been able to actually explain this, and this is why you got a 10% rating. You didn't know, averaging 1 and 2 months. Maybe you didn't have a log, or you just weren't really thinking about it or something like that. And you're like, yeah, I get them. And when they asked you, well, how often? Like, oh, I don't know. Or maybe they even fed you the question, do you get them, once every 2 months? And you said yes. Or, yeah, I have them. I've got migraines. How often are your attacks? Well, they're not really that frequent. So that's where you would get your 0 and your 10% from. How to get a 50 VA disability rating for migraines. There's a significant difference between the 30% rating for migraines and the 50% rating. We just covered that in the last chart. Let's look at a real denial letter from a VA rater for a veteran who was already at 30% for migraines, and he was seeking an increase to 50%. So this is what the rater said. Although the medical evidence shows that the frequency of the headaches has increased, there is no objective medical evidence showing that these headaches are at all prostrating in nature, which would affect economic inadaptability. However, based on the totality of the evidence, which includes the veteran's subjective statements and resolving all reasonable doubt in his favor, we feel that the 30% rating threshold has been met, justifying an increase at this time. A higher evaluation is not warranted unless objective medical evidence shows very frequent, completely prostrating, and prolonged attacks productive of severe economic inadaptability. So the VA raters calling it out. I agree with the 30%. You did not make the case for yourself for me to believe that you're at 50%. And the main part of this is there's no objective medical evidence. So trying to do this alone without a doctor did not help this veteran here. They do concede that the subjective statements were helpful, but didn't make the case for himself on the prostrating in nature part of it.